Will do.
All right, for the record, we are back on. It is 9:46 a.m. We do have Michelle, Amber, Tracy, and Harold all on the call. So we were on the agenda under item number 2, the fourth bullet. We're going to talk about some additional training requirements or whatever kind of requirements you guys come up with for individuals to retake the examinations. I do have Tina on, and so Tina's going to go through these one at a time. You're welcome to ask her any questions, and then we'll kind of do one at a time and decide what you guys want to do in order for them to take the test again. So Tina, you want to start off with the first one, which is applicant number 132033.
Good morning. Yes, this applicant has completed one additional training with Heather Smith. They have also passed their laws and rules. However, the last score was 73%. He was very, very close. He only missed it by 2. Do you got? So Tina, do you want to do recommendations now?
Yeah, we do one at a time. So Tina, you said Heather Smith, so I'm assuming you're talking about our Heather.
Heather Shepard, yes, sorry, Heather.
Okay, so this individual has done one study review with Heather.
Okay. What have we done in the past, Sylvia? Will you give us like a recap?
Sure. So, okay. So here's the issue. This is a refresher for everybody. So remember we changed the rule. So the rule now automatically works in the option for the study review. However, and that's working and it's working great. But usually what is happening, and Tina can say, but this individual, the first time they took the test is usually prior to us adjusting those rules. So they don't fit into the current rule situation. So we bring them to you because of the fact that they've usually taken a lot longer. They don't fit into that nice new package that we created per se. And so these are where we can kind of go individual to individual. You can, what we've done in the past too is offer like a 2-hour study review with Heather where they sit down, especially if they're really close. If they're not close at all, kind of maybe determining what the issue is, had they had a review with her before. But you guys get to decide what you want them to do, whether you want them to have a review, you can send them back to school to do the additional training. There's lots of things that we can talk about, but we'll do it case by case. And so let's work on the first one first. But go ahead and ask, we can have a discussion. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Michelle Strobel. So the person was very close, a 73, did you say?
Missed it by 2, 73%.
Okay. So wouldn't we want to offer the 2-hour study review?
Yeah, this is Amber. I'd second
that. Would be great. Okay. So Tina, how long ago did Heather do the study review with this individual?
That was quite a while ago after the 3rd attempt. So in between the 3rd and then this one, she did a review.
Okay, so I've heard both Michelle and Amber, so let's go with Harold and Tracy. Are you two both comfortable with us doing the 2-hour study review with Heather?
Yes, this is Tracy.
Yes.
Okay. I think it will help. 73% was pretty close.
Excellent.
The next applicant, 130788. This individual has passed the laws and rules. However, the hair design has failed for the 6th time. Completed one additional training with Heather and has low grades on hair design. However, we discussed with this individual this morning and they are going to, it's a language barrier, and they did find an interpreter to come in and interpret for them. So That's up to you guys as far as any additional training before the interpreter, or have additional training and then the interpreter come in.
This is Tracy. I have a quick question. When they come in for their training, are they allowed to have their interpreter in with their training as well?
Yes.
Yes.
And did this individual want to do another training, or did they want to just go ahead and try and test again with their interpreter?
Well, in the past, we have spoke to her about having an interpreter, and she has chose not to. But now that she did pass her laws and rules and such low scores in hair design, I believe that is the reason why they are going to go with an interpreter. They were having a hard time finding somebody to interpret for them. But we can always ask for this individual to bring the interpreter with her to the additional study review.
This is Amber. Did the interpreter help with the laws and rules or the test that she actually did pass? Or
No.
This is a new, okay. Okay.
This is Tracy. I mean, when we offer the additional training, it's just a suggestion, right? We don't demand it of them. Is that correct?
That is incorrect. So
Got
you
it.
guys are deciding what this person has to do in order to take the exam again. So
Got
you
it.
have a couple options. Now that you know this individual desires and wants to have an interpreter, what you guys could decide is to allow them to take the exam with an interpreter. If they still don't pass, then you can require them to have either additional training or sit down with Heather for 2 hours with the interpreter. So, but that's up to you guys. But yes, that's what you guys are deciding what they must do in order to take the exam again.
Got it. This is Tracy. If they feel confident that, they can take this test again with their interpreter and do better, that I feel like that's fine. And then we can offer, additional training if they don't pass that time.
This is
This is
Amber.
Michelle.
second
I
that.
agree, Tracy. That makes sense.
So both Michelle and Amber agree. So Harold, do you agree that to allow the individual to take the test again with an interpreter if they do not pass, then do the 2 hour sit down with Heather along with having the interpreter at that?
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, just making
I'm writing.
some quick
Let's give them the
notes.
opportunity.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
somebody
Tina, they're
refresh
going
my
to have to
memory
vote
this
on
real
it.
quick?
So, yeah,
How many?
go ahead, Harold.
Is this their 5th time or 6th time? I'm sorry, I forgot. Refresh my memory.
6th.
Okay. Okay, and they think it's a language barrier,
They-
so we're bringing in an interpreter.
So they've taken the exam 6 times. In order to take it for the 7th attempt, the board has to make a decision. So in order to take it for the
Right.
7th time, it has to come before the board. Yes. So she has
Right,
taken,
but-
he or she, because I don't know. Yeah. But
Yeah.
so
and
what our
they're
discussion is
utilizing-
allow them to take it the 7th time without the additional training due to the fact that we think it's a language barrier and they have an interpreter. And then it will
Okay.
have that caveat that if you
Now I
don't
got it.
pass the 7th attempt, then you have to do more. Does that make sense?
No, I totally agree. Let's give the applicant the opportunity, and they have an interpreter, and they think it's a language barrier. That makes sense.
Okay, I'm writing down because when we get to the end of all these, we're gonna because we actually have to make motions and vote and all that stuff, and I'll write down the verbiage. Okay, let's move on to the next one. 131070.
This is another one, 6-time testing. The last time testing received a 72%. Also very, very close. Has passed the laws and rules, but might have to retake the laws and rules again because they haven't made it within the 2-year period. their study review was done at school. It was not done with Heather.
So I say that they do the meet with Heather.
This is Tracy. I agree.
Okay.
Yes, 2-hour study review. Michelle?
Okay. And Harold, you agree too? Harold, you still
Harold?
there?
Harold owes everyone a Starbucks.
I am here. I'm just trying to multitask. I apologize. I've got another emergency call that I have to hop on. Can you give me 3? Please? Sorry about that.
Okay, so we're gonna have to put it on pause again. So Nathan, do you want to pause the recording?